Prasanna, go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
So are you able
okay.
to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, I think my mic was muted. I don't know whether like from where you have listened. So I'm just going to take an overview of Mendix. Okay, so if you have any queries, maybe just put down in the chats for the session. Okay, and then maybe further you can contact that contact number. Okay, let me start. Okay, so when it comes to Mendix, right? So Mendix is a low code, no code solution, and it's a one box we can say. So for example, Mendix started with RAD. So they started as a RAD technology. So now if you see Mendix has 10x versions. You can see the 10x version. So it started with one. So it's been like around 10 to 12 years. Mendix has been evolved now. So initially they started as a RAD. RAD is rapid application development. So how faster you can able to develop the application. So it started as a RAD tool, and now it become the LCNC, that is low code no code platform. Okay, so when it comes to Mendix, I said it is a one box. The meaning is, so if your company or your client company is having Mendix license, so there is only one solution for it. So you don't need to have a different UI, you don't need to have a different core, you don't need to have a different database. And also, when it comes to this software development lifecycle, you have all the phases. So requirement gathering, and then it will go for the development and testing, and then monitoring and maintenance, right? So everything you can do it in Mendix only. So that is the reason it's called as one box solution. So for example, so hope everybody knows this term MVC, right? In our legacy technologies as well, right? So we know this MVC pattern, right? What is MVC is model, view, and controller. Okay, so I try to explain the components, key components of Mendix in this way so that you will understand better, right? So model is nothing but a database connection or data layer, we can say. I'll just put it in a term called database so that everybody understands it. So database and view, in the simple terms, view, right? So it is a UI or a page. And controller is nothing but a core logic that we'll write in any language. You can make it as Java, or you can make it as .NET or any other language. Core is a logic that we'll write. Okay, so now come to Mendix terms. So here database, we'll call this as a domain model, and UI page building, so we can say this is a page, and core and logic, so we will write the microflow, nanoflow, and also workflow. So these are the key components in Mendix. Also for constraints wise, right? Let's say there is a where condition, so there is a like kind of a condition in query, right? So here we will use XPath to do that. And I said earlier, right? So Mendix gives us a lot of flexibility, right? So and here we can say there is a three important thing, right? So we can say this, you can write a no code solution in it, okay, and low code solution in it. So that is what Mendix suggests, right? There is a LCNC, and you can also I can say it is a more code. So how it works, I'll tell you. Let's say in the UI, right? So your company or your client company will have a different theme. right? So they don't have go with the Mendix default theme. So they have a different theme. So we have to extend that using the CSS, right? So that logic will work in the more code way. Let's say, for example, if you're writing a HTML, CSS custom code, right? That comes under the more code. And also when it comes to the logic, so Mendix is built on top of Java. So whatever you are drag and dropping in Mendix, right? So it is just a drag and drop in Mendix for the microflows, nanoflows, and workflow, whatever you're doing. Even for page buildings, you just drag and drop. Drag and drop, no, behind the scenes, it will write the Java code. So logics, when you want to extend it, right, you can able to extend using custom Java code. Sometimes for UI and for some logics, you will use the JS code as well. And if you are very like expert in React JS, you can able to write the React JS code as well for mobile development. So this comes under the more code. So what is no code then? No code is given for the business users, not meant for the developers, but for the business users. So let's say you have a client, and client is kind of a BA or a Scrum Master types, but even they want to do some kind of a development, right? So then it will be applicable for them. So this is only for business users, and it will be available in the web browser. They can able to drag and drop and develop. And when it comes to low code, this is 100% it is for a developer, and we can able to develop anything in the low code. So like IDEs, right? We will say IDE for any development platform. Here we call it as a Studio Pro. Okay, that version is 10x now. You can able to download even 9 versions, 8 versions as well. Okay, so before I move on, any questions till now?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, as you said in SDLC, if you consider the requirement gathering everything in all levels, we can use this Mendix, right?
Right.
So now, for example, in Angular or in React, if I want to create one page or form page, for example, so in that
Hmm.
form page, the buttons, labels, they have to customize. So mean to say, in some organizations, they are having their own libraries. So that library, on top of that library, font styles, buttons, labels, everything, they are looking to customize it. So in that case, adding that library and utilizing that library in this Mendix, how it is possible?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sorry, I lost. Yeah, I lost the connection in between. Sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm asking, in some organizations, they're having their own libraries.
Hmm.
So for example, I'm using React application. In that React application, I want to create a page.
Okay.
In that page, the font styles, buttons, labels, everything that I want to modify it, I want to customize it.
Right.
So in that case, how this Mendes will be useful?
So you are asking about customization of the CSS UI?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just share my screen again. So when you have the UI, right? So Mendix supports so Atlas UI for its own templates. Let's say if you go to this site atlasmendix.com, okay. So what it does is it gives you the pre-default templates. So what you can use for, right? And if you want to extend it, right? Let's say if you want to extend it, you can able to write your own libraries. Let's say the company is having own libraries. You can use the CSS and JavaScript, and if you are known of any Angular JS or jQuery also, you can able to using JavaScript libraries, you can able to enable that, and you can write the custom code as well. So if you require that, the company asks you to do that, you can able to do it. But it is easy to do with CSS itself. You don't need to go to JavaScript also. Sometimes the libraries that CSS supports, whatever, you can able to just customize according to your particular company theming, and you can able to reuse the theming as well in Mendix. Did I answer your question? Shyam? Hello? So I'm audible, guys?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fine. So Shyam, did I answer your question?
Hello, Srini?
Yeah, Shyam. Yeah, Shyam.
Yeah, now we can hear, right? Okay. So maybe some network issue. So what I'm saying, this Atlas UA will give us that flexibility, whichever the library if I want to use, then I can use it, right?
Atlas UI gives you the UX, perfect UX. So you understand the difference between UI and UX, right? So UI is how you develop your screen in Mendix or any tool, right? So
Hmm.
UX will give you the wireframes. So simply the wireframes. Let's say client is
Correct.
having the
I,
wireframe,
I, I know,
right?
I
So
know
what
that.
you will do,
Uh,
yeah,
uh, so, but
yeah, go ahead.
my question is, for example, Angular material or material UI that you know, right? Or
Yes,
Tailwind
yes,
CSS. So there are
right.
some libraries. So similarly, some organizations having their own libraries.
So that's what I'm trying to
So,
say. So you want to
uh,
recreate that in Mendix, okay? So you
uh,
can't
uh,
use a library as it is because it doesn't support any other, like it supports only the JavaScript and no maybe little bit of Angular and maybe the React JS for the mobile application it will support. But if it is in a different technology, right? So you want to recreate
mm,
that in Mendix, right? So then we have to
mm,
go for the Atlas and see what are the templates that we can able to create. First thing. Second thing
okay,
is you can able to recreate that in the CSS.
okay, okay. But
And
that
also
is
it will
also
hmm,
that is also some 50% possibility. So why I'm asking is, in my organization, they are
mhm.
maintaining some libraries for the front-end
Okay.
purpose, like um, tabs are there, right? Usually, when you click on one tab to another tab, whatever the colors or the borders, layouts, font styles, everything, they are having their own standards.
Okay.
So on top of that only, we have to build the application. Otherwise, they will not accept the code. So in that case, how it will be useful? That is my question. And one more point is that, uh, so for example, I want one form in multiple places. Say
Mhm.
every time I have to create the same form in multiple places, or we can reuse that component wherever I need.
So you
So in
can
that
able to
case, how
reuse the
this Mendix?
component. You can able to reuse
Okay,
the component wherever you want because you can create as the building blocks or you can create as a snippet. You can able to recreate it in any places multiple times. There won't
okay,
be a problem. And
that
the
is.
and the first, according to the first question, is it is not a question actually. It is a proposal discussion. So so we
Hmm,
have to just go and see what is their complete architecture and what they are like, which libraries that we are using. What is Mendix supporting. We have to just go and see all those stuffs. But the simple answer to is that we can able to recreate anything in Mendix even if the libraries whatever they have, but it will take a custom code. But when some client is coming to Mendix, they are coming for a betterment of application and make it fast, right? So when compared with the legacy technology, and if you have more libraries and more restrictions, Mendix is not suggested to do use because it is create more custom coding, right? So it will take more time. It's the same as legacy technology, not benefit of Mendix or any other low code
okay.
platform. Yeah.
Okay. And how it will be useful in terms of code quality?
So Mendix has its own standard. So it is not that it is a low code. It doesn't have a code quality or a security or a data security. It has everything because it is constructed like that, right? And the code quality has to be checked by manually as well as automatically. So because there are two processes. One is there is a bot running, AI bot, performance bot is running always, right? It will tell you what you are doing, right? You are doing right or wrong, and also you have to do it manually as well. And there are some paid kind of a tools also available in Mendix. You can use it for the code quality as well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think I can see one more raised hand, Srinath.
Yeah. Srinivas, right? Can I call you Srinivas?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, Srinivas. I'm Srinath. I'm working for an IT firm for SAP actually. I'm an experienced
Okay,
guy, senior consultant, and
okay.
actually looking forward to start once again, continue my career with Mendix. So, any prerequisites are there for this? Actually, this terminology is bit new for me. So, any prerequisites or anyone can learn and start their career working with Mendix or anything?
No, anyone can start with Mendix. It is not an issue because you are already a senior consultant, so it will be like easy for you. So it's not very complicated for you. So we have a history where the people coming from mechanical background and they have taken Mendix and they have succeeded as well. So Mendix is very easy to understand and go ahead. But the only thing is you have to put forward your thoughts and have to just learn it. That's it. So it's very simple technology.
Okay, okay. Can I consider this as per the up to now we had sometime the session was conducted by you. So can we consider like it's an tool to design the client's portal as per their request, or is as my understanding is correct, or anything you would like to add?
No, this is a tool for any developer to work on. Let's say we have some kind of SAP tools that you work, right? Generally,
Yes.
when you come to
Yes.
Java, it will be a Eclipse kind of IDE, right? So for that,
Mm-hmm.
we have a same IDE, so that we called as Studio Pro here. So where you can create code, right? And you can able to push that to the team server. Maybe I'll just tell you now. Maybe you will understand that.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
just tell you what we can do according
Okay,
to the
okay.
SDLC, right?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sri.
thank you. So when it comes to SDLC, as I told you, right? So there is a requirement. So requirement is nothing but a sprint-wise user stories, you can say, right? The client will give some requirements, and we will make it as a user stories there, right? So you can able to manage this Agile or Jira kind of a portal in Mendix itself. There is a Mendix developer tool where you can able to do it online. So I will show you in the first class how it will be. So we can able to manage that requirement there. Okay, user stories using Agile and Jira, and then and you have a build. Let's say come to the build part. You already I told you you can able to create that using Studio Pro. So build is nothing but a development, and you can able to test using some tools that is available, and also you can able to do it manually as well. So generally in Mendix small projects, we won't keep developers at QA because developers will do the testing because it is a very simple project. If it is a very little customized project or little complex project, so we'll go for the QA, and we can able to do automation if required. And then next we comes to the monitoring. Sorry, before there is a deployment. So you can able to deploy your application in Mendix Cloud. So there is a cloud provided by Mendix itself. So how they created a cloud is on top of AWS. For example, it is a AWS in the background. As I said, for technology, background is behind the scenes, it is Java. Like for cloud, it is behind the scenes, it is AWS. So Mendix have its own cloud and you can able to deploy that. Or if your client or customer wants to deploy it in private clouds, you can able to do it in any private clouds like AWS, Azure, um, Google, etc. And there is a monitoring tools that is already available in Mendix Cloud only. If you are going for Mendix Cloud, and some point of private clouds, if it is a shared cloud or it is like supported by Mendix, even you can able to use Mendix Cloud for the private cloud as well. But sometimes if you go for a some clients still will go for the on-premise. Let's say it can be a Windows one or it can be a Linux one on-premise. So on some part of private clouds, you can use the some other monitoring tools. Let's say there is a tool called Datadog, and sometimes of third-party tools you can use. And so you can in the deployment, I can say you can able to deploy it using the multiple environments, but you have to get the license. For example, you should have a Mendix license to it, and then you can able to do all these things in the Mendix only. Any questions here?
Yes. So it is following
Yeah.
SDLC requirement gathering agile, right? It is like Atlassian product Jira, Epic stories, everything we can handle it, right?
Yeah, you can able to handle all the stories. How many user points you can able to give for it for a particular story. You can able to do all those things there and assign it to the user, the team member there. We can do all those stuffs.
Okay, here one more point, testing you have mentioned, right? Manual automation. So we can
Hmm.
directly use the tool for the JUnit test cases, or the we can use it for the system testing, like integration testing, regression testing, manual testing, automation all together. What kind of testing it will support?
Not altogether. So you can simply test it in Mendix. So if you want to have an integration testing or system testing, so you have to go for some other tools. Mendix does not support integration testing on its own. So
Okay,
these applications
so
anyway, it is
manual
a
auto
web application or something, right? So,
so
yeah.
manual and automation means what kind of support it will give?
No, manual automation means it's a generic testing that we'll do, right? Once the application is ready, we will test it in the browser or we test it in the app, right? So it is not
Okay,
related to the
like
integration and
smoke
system
testing,
testing at particular.
smoke testing.
So you can say regression types, but I won't say it's a smoke testing. It's a regression types, and I'm not an expert in testing, so maybe I don't
Okay,
know. But it's a general testing that we do, right? So whenever you
okay,
create application, you will do a testing, right?
okay. And in deployment part, it will support multi-region also, multi-region
It will support.
deployments, multi-region
Yeah, yeah.
deployments.
It's
So
having
for
multi-region deployment.
okay, so how it will connect nowadays? Everybody using AWS mostly, right? 80% in the market AWS, remaining Azure or the Google. So in that case, how it will connect to the AWS? Like, are we using any plugins?
I mean, for deployment, you're asking?
Yes. So for example, in my local, I created one application and I want to deploy that application in multiple regions. For example, I in India region, North America, and Europe. So in that case, and my infra is available on AWS. So in AWS, if I
Okay.
want to deploy that application in three regions, so how that is possible? How I will connect to the AWS infra?
Okay. So the user base, you have a SSO SAML, right? So that kind of availability that is there in Mendix, SAML as well as
Mm.
OADZ modules. So you can able to import the user from the different systems using the authentication and authorization. Okay. And when it comes to the deployment process, just give me a minute. I'll just let. So when come to the deployment part, so we have a architecture from Mendix itself. Let's say, so there will be a API and there will be instance, Mendix instance will be deployed, okay, in the cluster of AWS or any cloud. And using this Kubernetes API, you can able to deploy the application. So there is a architecture built by Mendix itself for private clouds.
But how it will connect to the AWS? So are we using any plugins to connect to that? First it has a connection between
If
the
you want to get,
or Mendix to
no, Sham, two things here.
AWS, right? Hmm.
So two things here. So if it is a deployment, you are asking about only deployment, or if you are asking about the data transfer, sir?
My question is, my application I want to deploy in AWS. For
Okay.
example, IN region. So first of all, I want to connect to the
Okay.
AWS, right? Without connecting, how we can deploy? So that is first question. How we can connect to the AWS?
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So there is a, so how we will deploy generally? Can you just give me an example?
In general, how we can connect is that the code commit once we have in code repository, we can create pipelines in AWS.
Okay.
That pipeline
Right.
will get the
Okay.
code from the Git repositories and then deploy. It will do the compile and then build. The build is success, then it will deploy into the wherever the hosting is available, there it will deploy. So now here, how it is possible,
Okay.
because
Yes.
we are using tool, right? So how we will connect to the AWS?
So it is not a tool. So how we use in other platforms as well. Here also we'll create some deployment package. Okay. So that will push you to
Okay.
Git, and we already created the pipeline from Mendix to any cloud that we are doing using the Kubernetes APIs. Okay. This is how
Okay.
we'll deploy. The same thing. It is a tool, but it will create the MDA files. MDA file is the deployment archive file.
Okay.
So it is same like any other technology, Shyam. It is not that it is just a tool.
Okay. So similarly, monitoring tools also. So are we using any plugins to connect to the third-party libraries, or how it is possible? The Kubernetes you are saying, for deployment part, Kubernetes API is something
So
you
there
told,
are,
right?
okay. If in the overview session you are asking me all the solutions here. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, so connected architect, there are two architectures. Okay, so when it comes to the private cloud, so there is a connected architecture and there is a standalone architecture. Okay, so connected
Hmm.
architecture, so we'll have the Mendix platform. So let's say there is a box A. Box A is Mendix platform. Okay, and box B is your private cloud. Let's say AWS. Okay, so there will
Hmm.
be a few things that there will be a gateway agent type. So if you say the plugin, I will say as a, it's a gateway agent. Okay, and the operator of Mendix. So that both will be installed in the cluster in the namespace of private cloud. Okay, so and when
Okay.
you have a there is a interactor that will be there in the Mendix cloud, I mean Mendix platform. Okay, so from that we will have this Kubernetes API that will transform these events and activity when you push the code, right? It will do that transformation there, and according to the servers that they have a database server and file servers. According to it, it will go and deploy it. So if you say plugin, it will be, what I can say here is the gateway agent, right? And then it will be operator, Mendix operator, that will be installed already there, and using the Kubernetes API, it will be connected. And there is a
Okay.
next one, as you said before, we have to create a CI/CD pipelines. This is for standalone architecture. So standalone architecture doesn't have a Mendix support, right? So it will be box B only, doesn't have a back CA. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to have a local CI/CD pipeline there, right? From the source control, that is a Git or SVN or whatever the control. From that, using that local CI/CD pipeline, we will push the code to the Kubernetes API, and Mendix operator anyway we have to install in the namespace in the private cloud, and then again the process will be the same. So there will be two ways to deploy it in the architecture wise. One is a connector architecture and next is the standalone. And connector architecture is much easier when compared to the other one. So it's, I mean, simple, you can say. And if you have a very banking kind of a projects, so it's better to go with the standalone architecture so that Mendix doesn't have any hold of it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any yeah, thanks. Any other questions? Okay. So Mendix has this like a developer portal, and the features will be you can use your apps view. What are the apps that you have created, and Agile Scrum view, that boards that will be there, and you have a teams. I mean, team members can able to see for that particular application, and you can able to have a marketplace. The marketplace will have lot of connectors. So let's say if you want to connect with SAP, if you want to connect with Snowflake, or if you want to connect with any other third-party systems, you can have a pre-default connectors. There are a lot of connectors available, modules available, um, and modules will be available. And also you have a Studio Pro available there. You can able to download any version of Studio Pro, and you have a forum. So Mendix has its own forum that they will support their. Okay, so it's have their own forum. They have a question and answers. Let's say if you have any new things you are doing, and if you can put no update that questions into the forum, and experts from Mendix, they can able to answer it. And also they have a community, so they will conduct a lot of blogs and other stuff, so they'll have a community as well. And the main part is they have an academy. The We can say it's a very good academy path for their all the certification that they have and all the knowledge they have. They have a proper documentations, and they have a proper academy. There will be documentation separately, academy separately, but they have everything. So, and they have certification levels from rapid, intermediate, advanced, and last one will be the expert. So these are the certification levels, and we have to clear the exams for this first three. And expert will be kind of an interview where all the MVPs, few of them will be there in the interview types. This will be in the call, and so you have to explain why you are expert, and they will ask multiple questions. Accordingly, they will certify you as an expert. But first three levels, you have to clear the exams, and you have to get the certificate. Okay, so that's all for from my end for today. Maybe we can see more in the first class. So let me know if you have any queries till now. Yes, Srinath.
Yeah. Thanks for the session, Srinivas. But what is the expectation from the industry and how the openings are like the current present openings and future with Mendix? Am I audible? Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes, you are audible, but I think
Yes, you are audible, I
Srinath
guess. Maybe
is
it's a
audible.
mistake from my end. It's a network frustrations there. So I'm
Okay.
audible now?
Can I repeat that quickly, or you
Yeah, yeah,
got
please.
the question from?
No, no, I didn't get it. Can you just come again, please?
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm saying like I would like to know how is the present expectation from companies? So how many years of experience they will expect for entering into Mendix, and what is the openings wise in the present market, and how in the future Mendix would be future of Mendix.
Okay, so currently companies are looking out for the people who are at least been 6 months to 1 year in the Mendix. This is a minimum I'm saying. Okay, so
Okay.
and they should at least have a rapid, that is a basic level of certification, and if it's better if you
Mhm.
have intermediate. Okay,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
what is the next question you asked?
So future with Mendix. So yeah.
Okay. So Mendix is evolving every day. Okay. So as I said, when I was started Mendix, it is like only 4x. So that is like 7.5, 8 years back. So now
Okay.
Mendix is having 10x versions, right? 10x version in the sense 10.0.0. They will start like that. So it is
Mm-hmm.
having more versions, more upgrades, right? Initially we have a lot of issues when like in the 4 and 5 versions, right? So now we have a lot of feasibility, lot of visibility in Mendix, and they do invest a lot of money in their digital transformation platforms. So Mendix will be a very good future, and I mean, in later point of time, after 5 years or 10 years, Mendix can be fad out, but there will be another local platform will come, right? So it
Yes.
is if it goes fine, it is fine. But as of now, Mendix is a leader of low codes when comparatively with OutSystems, APN, Power Apps. Mendix is a leader because of its feasibility to create native mobile applications and the widgets and the connectors that they have, and they are having the more upgrades than any other low code version. So Mendix is very very good now, and it should be good for at least 5 years. That's my understanding of Mendix. But the
Okay.
only
Okay.
problem that I face when it comes to the clients is the pricing model. So they have little more high pricing comparatively with
Mm-hmm.
APN and other PPM tools. So that is the only problem, and I think they are sorting out that issues from last 2 3 months. So it will be fine there.
Okay. So most of the IT firms are having these projects, Srinivas.
Yes, yes, more IT companies are having Mendix. So when you ask me like 2 years back, companies have like it's a limited companies. Now the companies are taking low codes because they have the concern of security and the other stuffs, and they know now even Mendix and other low codes platforms having very good security like legacy technology. So they are having more towards the US, Europe regions, and now from UAE as well. There will be a lot of projects coming in. So there will be a lot of projects and a lot of clients are in there.
Okay. Only last question. So coming to certification, you said like intermediate would be a better grade of certification. So we need to attend any online examination, or we need to appear before any panel.
No, no. So for this three, okay, I'll just maybe tell you very clearly. So rapid is a examination as well, intermediate and advanced. These three are examination as well. We have to write an exam. Okay, it is MCQs, multiple choice questions, but the
Okay.
complexity will be different. Rapid will be very very simple, and intermediate will be somewhat tough and tricky, and advanced will be very tough. Okay, so very tough in the
Okay.
sense you will feel A, B, C, D all are answers. Okay,
Okay.
so that will be kind of a questions. So you have to clear rapid to go for the intermediate and sequential wise. So again, you have to clear intermediate to go for advanced. Once you clear advanced, then only you can appear for the expert certifications.
Okay. I think do we need
So
to pay
whatever I am
separate?
teaching, I also
Mhm. Mhm. Yes,
that's
please.
what that's what. So whatever I am teaching, I will be also going with the certifications as well, also on the development. So
Okay.
there will be two different things I will teach. So I will go with the development way, how you develop, right? So more than theoretical, I will go with the development flow, and also I will focus on certification. So when you like appear for certifications, you will just take notes from myself, or you can just see the recordings. You can understand that no, it is maybe for the recommendation. But my recommendation is always go with the academy, because the questions will come from the academy. So even I'm
Okay.
teaching, you just go and read the academy whenever you are free.
Okay. So, do we need to pay any extra amount for that examination pattern?
Yes, there is a certification that involved pricing, but it according to your company, current company, and the maybe the client company, that if they have the voucher, currently they remove the voucher, but if they have a voucher or if they have some kind of a partnership with Mendix, I think it will be free. Otherwise, you have to from your company, or you have to pay and write the exam.
Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, any other question?
Yeah, Srini, will it support workflows?
Yes, it supports workflow. Yeah.
Okay. So workflow means how we can manage it in Mendix. Just one
Workflow
overview,
means it
like
is not a
where it start,
configurable
where it
workflow.
goes.
It is so it is workflow means it is not a configurable workflow. So behind the scenes like microflow logics, you can write workflow as well. So you can able to configure that from the development tool, the Studio Pro.
Okay. Uh, for example, if I want to develop one application, both front end, back end, so what are the prerequisites that a
Mhm.
user have? So for example, the developer is more familiar with the front end, but in some cases he wants to utilize the back end also. So in that case, how we can handle the back end? Is there any way that he can handle it, or he has to know the back end related also, the coding wise?
No, backend you are saying, so there is no front end backend in Mendix. As I said, it is a complete one box. Okay. So when you create a page, you can say maybe a front end, and when you have creating a microflow, you can say that is a backend. But microflow creations is very important in Mendix, because that is a core part of it. So page creation can be done in a minute. Okay, it's just a single click pages also you can able to create in Mendix. But you have to be well versed with the microflows that you are writing and the logic that you are writing.
Okay. But nowadays, in everybody in front end side React, they are using Angular also using, right? So if I want to develop those kind of applications, React application or the Angular application, how it will be useful? Because here we can use HTML, CSS, right? But there are some libraries
HTML,
in
CSS, and
Angular or the
JavaScript.
React. Hmm?
React you can able to use, but React we are not using in any web applications. So we are using React native applications, right? So native mobile applications. So for that only we are using the React JS here, but more probably we won't use it for a web applications. Generally, I'm saying. So because when as I said, right, the expectation for the client when it comes to Mendix, it will be a easier development, and the UIs and everything when Mendix is easily we can able to create pages, right? So that is the
So we
reason
can
they are
use
coming to Mendix.
React.js.
So
We
if you are
can
like
use
creating more
React.js.
custom logic,
We can use
you
React.js
can
in
use
Mendix,
React.js,
or
but yes, we can use.
okay,
You can use it, but the problem is what I'm saying is that if you want to use React.js, and you can even go with React.js technology and to develop it, right? So only for backend, Mendix is not that much useful, I'm saying. So when you use it as a one box, it will be very useful.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Srinath, we have a question. I think your hand raised, right?
It was previously raised. Yeah, down.
No, sorry, I didn't get it, Srinath.
No, it was previously raised by
Oh, you
me.
were saying
Yeah.
it is raised previously, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Fine, fine. Okay. So, please drop your mail IDs in the chat box. Like everyone, please. Okay, I think so. We are good. Let's see. I will just talk to them, and when is the this course starts? So I'll just check with them. Maybe you can also just talk to them, and we'll see. We can see on the first call.